I do not have a prepared topic today, so we'll go over some brief updates. Um, I kind of got into a bit of a hyperfixation with the new Design Abstract album. Basically, as it was, there were kind of two groups of songs. There was a group of three songs, then there's a group of like four, including or not including an interlude. Including, not including. I don't know. Um, these songs are all brand fucking new, except for the one. It was back. It was one of the early Metamtechnosis songs, and it's a good song. It's a great song. The first four songs in the album are effectively done, other than bass. Like, I've done like a faux mastering chain of like mixed everything. So like guitars are done, vocals are done, orchestration is done, mixing is essentially done. Okay. The first three tracks form like a movement, and then I'd also done four. I pushed into the interlude, which is five, and then into track six was what I was working on. Okay, so just for context, so I sent them the album as it is. Keep in mind, I hadn't touched the latter songs on the album, and he said, "Oh, like the that older song is a closing track. Oh, that sounds perfect. Don't change anything." Like, every single aspect of it is going to be fucking ripped apart and redone. It just is. It's not a deathcore song. This is a deathcore album. So he didn't like that idea too much. So I was like, well, we could archive it. We could just write entirely new music. And I did not expect them to say yes, but they did. And that sort of broke the spell for me. I had sort of lapsed back a little bit into not really sleeping. Not sleeping nearly as much as I should have been. A lot of full days of just working on this and nothing else because I could see the end. Like, the end was in sight. And when I'm in that state, I'm just really, really obsessive about it. Way more than I should have been. I put everything else on hold and I was just like plowing through this. And then when those changes were made and suddenly, oh, that song's not on the album anymore. And suddenly this album is less than half finished instead of almost finished. And so I kind of snapped out of it. Yeah. So I'm going to take a little break again. And unfortunately, the real announcement here is that the new album is not nearly as close as it was because we've decided to make changes. So that song is going to be replaced by two songs. I'm going to structure the album in three movements of three songs each with an interlude in the middle. Yeah, it'll be more focused as a result, but it'll definitely take longer. And the song that we are now archiving again, okay. You know what? Yeah, we decided to scrap this, so I'll just talk about it. So, in early to mid Metamtechnosis days, we had this idea for an entirely different release called Symphonie Apocalyptique, like in French. The aesthetic of it was very, very romantic. The songs that we had were overly melodic, overly like emotional and dramatic and super melodic and not even really that heavy. Also really progressive. There were like clean passages in the guitars and stuff that we wouldn't normally do. There's a lot more synth that I wouldn't do anymore, and like crazy elaborate orchestration as well. Way more than in past releases. The orchestration for the songs that are there are like way more big and lush and full than Metamtechnosis, including everything except maybe Decryptor. We're also going to get a guest vocalist for the cleans on that, more like operatic gothic sort of thing, just like basically just beating you over the head with romantic, right? And obviously we didn't go that direction because listen to Transhuman Ascendant, like that's not where we went, and that's fine. But a couple of those songs were just sitting. One was like basically done, one was almost done, and then there was a few ideas. I was only going to have four songs, but they were going to be like 7 or 8 minutes long. So I finally had the talk of like, okay, we're killing this for real, right? Because we had already pulled the one song that we were going to use on Symphony for this. We ended up taking it back and we're probably going to release it for something else. But I was like, that other song that was almost done, like we'll just gut it, right? I don't think we're going to use it. So yeah, that's that is indeed what is going to happen. Yeah, I've just been scrapping songs, scrapping scrapped a Project Technophage song, scrapped a Voice Side song. Like it's all gonna happen, but I'm slowing back down again. Like I didn't like doing that. I was very obsessive about it. But yeah, as far as an official update, that's sort of the thing. Is the release for the new Design Abstract album is gonna be pushed back a little bit. While we basically work on making it as perfect as possible. I don't think that's too bad. We release a lot of music and it's okay. And I think it is for the best that it's going to be as good as it possibly can be, you know? Um, yeah. And I am still kind of fighting with this, getting too involved, getting too sucked in into doing this. Like, you can say, oh, productivity is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, no, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I was just like neglecting a lot of things in the process, including like sleep schedule and personal health and personal relationships. And like, it was really stupid. And I'm really fighting really hard right now to just get my sleep schedule back on track because it's fucked and it really sucks when it's like that. So yeah, that's about it, I think. Yeah.